Not gonna lie, I kinda would like to experience what it's like to switch bodies on a Friday. But who would I be switching bodies with? Not with my dad. Instead, I would want to switch bodies with my brother D. How would that go? I guess we'll never know. Hello everyone, welcome back to another double movie review on the channel. So, in my Weapons review, I had mentioned I went to go see Weapons and then Freakier Friday as a double feature. Of course, I didn't do a movie vlog of it because I didn't think it warranted one. But yeah, I had mentioned that I would do a double movie review talking about my thoughts on both movies. Now, I was supposed to make this kinda yesterday, but instead I made a different video instead, which was talking about my thoughts on War of the Worlds. So I filmed that at like 1 a.m. in the morning and then have that posted just a couple of hours ago, and now I'm gonna film this and edit this later tonight because I got some chores I need to do. Specifically right after this video. So to give you my background knowledge on Freaky Friday, I have watched the first movie for the first time in preparation for number 2, but I am aware that we've gotten other movies that have used this concept where you'd be switching bodies with someone on a Friday. The only other movie I recall doing this would be a horror movie called Freaky that came out 5 years ago. But yeah, I would like to believe that I have seen the first movie growing up as a kid, but I don't think that's the case, as when I watched it recently, I didn't have any memory of me like, okay, I totally have seen this during my childhood, because I'm pretty sure I had just watched Freaky Friday for the first time, as I wanted to watch that in preparation for Freakier Friday. Now, I'll be honest, I did not take notes for this, but I think I know which certain topics I would like to discuss for both movies, so I'm gonna try to make this quick and short, at least maybe 15 minutes. But let's talk about my thoughts with the first movie, because I had a blast with this one. Now, the first couple of minutes were kind of hard for me to get through, but once the hijinks begin, as both the mother and daughter start to switch bodies on a Friday, that's where the movie had kind of won me over a bit, and by the very end, once it was over, yeah, I ended up having a good time watching Freaky Friday. So this movie stars Lindsay Lohan playing the daughter and Jamie Lee Curtis playing the mother, as the both aren't getting along with each other in this movie. And I'm sure you've seen this specific trope before where the child is rebelling against the parent, doing whatever they want, and think that their parent is like taking control of their lives, like, you're ruining my life! No, seriously, that line is used like 2 or 3 times in this movie. But overall, Lindsay's character isn't happy about her mom getting married to a new guy, as she's still mourning the loss of her dead dad. Now, I have been aware of this movie's existence, just didn't have any interest of checking it out, because I have like a certain taste when it comes to movies, which I feel like if there's a movie I had no interest in watching, I'm gonna somehow check it out at some point later on, just not in like the present, but like later down the line in the distant future. Because the only reason I watched this was because we were getting a sequel called Freakier Friday, as I heard it was announced either 2023 or it was like announced like last year. But yeah, with the sequel coming out, I figured, alright, time to check out Freaky Friday. And as I mentioned, I had a good time with this movie. Now, if I had any negatives or nitpicks, like I mentioned, like the first couple of minutes were tough to get through, as I'm like, okay, alright, let's maybe get things going a bit. But once the mother and daughter do switch bodies, the rest of the movie just ends up becoming funny and entertaining for me. I won't lie, I was actually getting stressed out having to see them pretend to be each other, as the mother, trapped in the daughter's body, had to pretend to be her daughter going to school, while the daughter, trapped in her mother's body, had to pretend to be her mother going to work as a therapist. And the only bits that had me stressing out would be characters getting suspicious of like, you're acting weird, this isn't like you. Or when the daughter's like doing cancellations relating to her mother's wedding. I don't know, I didn't think I was gonna be feeling that kind of stress watching this movie, but hey, it was entertaining to watch. But wanna know what wasn't entertaining to watch and had me kind of weirded out? I know this is supposed to be like a funny bit in the movie, and knowing the context that, okay, this guy likes the daughter, not the actual mom, just the personality. And that would be this love interest for Lindsay's character, who she has a crush on, but obviously the mother isn't gonna approve of this guy. And I was liking him until he was starting to get a little obsessed with the mom, which I know sounds weird, because knowing the context, it's actually Lindsay's character that is trapped in her mother's body, and the dude doesn't have any interest in the daughter, who is technically the mother trapped in the daughter's body. It's just, I don't know. Overall, I just thought that was, I mean, it was funny, but it made me not like him that much because of his little obsession with the mother, because he just found her to be cool. Now again, I get it was supposed to be funny, but it weirded me out that a student would be attracted to somebody's mother. That's like if one of my classmates from school had called my mom hot and would make a joke about being my stepdad. Now that would make me very uncomfortable. But moving on, so at the very end is what I enjoyed the most about this movie. Because as I mentioned, the mom is getting married to a new guy named Ryan, who is actually a sweet guy. And like I said, I was getting stressed out watching these two characters go through some hijinks in this movie. But I was worried about Ryan no longer liking the mother because of how she's acting when us, the audience, know that that's not really the mother, it's the daughter trapped in the mother's body. But by the end, everything is a-okay, as the whole reason the mother and daughter swapped bodies in the first place was because of this Chinese lady gave them fortune cookies, and I guess this lady just likes to get involved into random people's lives where her daughter is like, Mom, what did I tell you not to get involved in people's lives? She almost pulled the same trick with Lindsay's character's brother and the grandpa by the end of this movie, which that would have been crazy to see a son swapping bodies with a grandpa. Oh my god, I just thought of a movie idea that I'm not sure if they've done this before. A Freaky Friday movie with 3 generations. A father, a son, and a grandson. But yeah, they swapped bodies, and the only way they had to switch back to normal was to see their perspective through each other's eyes. I forgot what the exact quote was in the movie, but basically it was a lesson to be learned for both characters, where they would understand each other better. Lindsay's character would understand why her mother loves Ryan so much, and the mother would understand why her daughter is having a hard time at school, as there's this teacher out to get her, all because he got rejected by the mother when they both went to high school. But yeah, overall, I had a fun time with this movie. While I may have been feeling stressed out seeing the hijinks go down, this was such a hilarious movie to watch. And I really did enjoy Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis on screen together as they had to pretend to be each other. So if I had to give it a rating, I'm giving Freaky Friday an 8 out of 10. Now moving on to Freakier Friday, as this movie is basically somewhat of a legacy sequel, because we are getting the same old characters from the first movie, but we're getting introduced to new characters, specifically Lindsay Lohan's character's daughter and a stepdaughter. And what they do differently here compared to the first movie, both Lindsay Lohan's character and Jamie Lee Curtis' character swap bodies with the other 2 new characters. Which, okay, I'm a little annoyed I don't remember the characters' names. I'm not great with names, so I'm gonna look up the names because I'm actually getting very annoyed. Ah, here we go. Lindsay Lohan plays Anna Coleman, while Jamie Lee Curtis plays Tess Coleman. Why couldn't I not remember those names? Those are easy to remember. Well, but the other 2 characters. Ah, Harper and Lily. But what was the boyfriend's name again that was getting obsessed with Tess Coleman in the last movie? Ah, Jake. Okay, I've memorized the names, now back to the review. So yeah, I didn't have much expectations, I was just hoping to enjoy it, watching Freakier Friday, and having to see the movie. It's surprisingly the exact same as the first movie, but it's different overall, which is gonna be kind of complicated to explain. Well, maybe not too complicated. Overall, it's 25% the same, but most of the time, which would be 75% different. Yes, Anna and Tess are getting their bodies swapped again, except not with each other, but with the daughters in this movie. In the last movie, they weren't together, but in this one, they are together, as they have to figure out how to switch bodies back with the daughters, as Harper swapped bodies with her mom, while Lily swapped bodies with Anna's mom. Also, I will be bringing up some minor spoilers for the movie, so if you have not seen it, I would suggest go checking it out in theaters and coming back to this review, but if you don't care for spoilers, feel free to stick around. Alright, so my thoughts with Freakier Friday. It's not as funny as the first movie. If I'm being honest, I kind of thought the first movie was better, but not to say I wasn't disappointed with this one. I actually did enjoy Freakier Friday. In fact, if I'm being honest, the rating I gave for the first movie is the exact same one I gave for Freakier Friday, which was an 8 out of 10. But yeah, let me bring up the same bits that this movie copied from the first one, where a mother's getting married to a new guy, although Anna somehow had a daughter, but she's a single mom. Okay, so who was the father then? Because I know it wasn't Jake. But yeah, Anna's getting married to this new character named Eric, who I have seen as a Sith Lord and the Acolyte. I know everyone hates that show, but come on, his character was kind of a badass. And I actually saw a helmet at my GameStop that, damn it, I actually want to get my hands on it. But since I'm talking about Eric, I'm gonna say this right off the bat, I like him a lot more than Jake. Because once Jake sees Tess later in this movie, his weird feelings kind of reawaken again, and I'm just like, oh my god, are we doing this again of him being a little obsessed with Anna's mother? Oh my god. I will say this, I am surprised of how many people they did bring back from the first movie, which would be the brother, the teacher that had a grudge against Tess's daughter, Anna, Tess's new husband, Ryan, and that one guy that went to Mrs. Coleman's therapy sessions. So there were a lot of callbacks to the first movie, but I don't want to say that this movie was relying heavily on nostalgia. But yeah, as someone who's just a casual moviegoer and had just watched the first movie for the first time recently, that left a smile on my face, having to see like, oh hey, that's like a callback to the first movie. Oh my god, they brought this character back? Damn! But yeah, early in the movie, Harper and Lily hate each other in this movie, but once they switch bodies, they come to have a truce and figure out how to break both their parents up, since they don't want to move to London or live in LA. Now, I don't recall Anna trying to sabotage her mother's wedding, only that, yeah, she canceled a couple of things that her mother had planned out. But nowhere do I recall her trying to sabotage her mother's wedding, as she didn't want to have a new dad. For this case, no, they don't want to be family at all. But similar to Anna, where she wasn't ready to have a new dad, we have a similarity with Lily, who lost her mother. And I know not everyone's gonna like Lily, as I guess she's an insufferable character from what I've heard. But me, I actually liked her backstory a bit. And I was surprised with how they kind of succeeded in breaking both parents up. Now, Harper was on board at first, but once she had a chat with Lily's dad, being trapped in her mother's body, of course, Eric wanted to stay in LA as he figured that'd be best for the family, but also for his daughter, because moving back to London isn't going to bring back Lily's mother back. So Harper kind of backed out on her plan with Lily last minute, and both girls did feel remorse over their actions on trying to sabotage both their parents' wedding. But anyways, with that being said, overall, it is the same exact movie. Well, almost the exact same. It's just a little different most of all. Again, it's the same but different. Like, I would say it is 25% of the same, but 75% different. It's the same but different. But if they end up making a third movie, I don't know what you could do with that. But those are just my thoughts with both movies at the first. But those are just my thoughts on both movies, as the first one is streaming on Disney+, while you can check out the sequel in theaters now. While I do think the first movie is better, I still had fun with the sequel, and even though I'm not like a long-time fan with this movie franchise, I had fun with both films as a casual moviegoer. And if you have seen both movies, be sure to leave your thoughts, comments down below, and which one do you think is better. And anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this double movie review, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out.